So it didn't get Matt Lloyd, Spice Boy, Lloyd Burbidge, Michael Davidson, Keith Davidson, all the people that extorted Hogan got away with it because I was the victim. Because I'm a bad guy. I'm the loudmouth. I'm the guy that did Lesbian Tuesdays, No Panties Thursday, Redneck Mondays,
Squirt Olympics,
Squirt Olympics, shoot ping pongs out your pussy, ping pong. And that guy doesn't make a good victim. You can do whatever the fuck you want to me, but they never will prosecute for me. So it got unprosecuted. So here it gets better. So Matt Lloyd, Spice Boy, gets away with it. He basically gets away with it. I'm still doing mornings on the Bone, and now I have been, and Mike Calta's doing afternoons, and I'm still the morning man, but I'm now kind of the fucking piece of shit because America or corporate, they don't know about this failed extortion attempt because there was no charges brought. So it never.
Are you talking about it?
No, I'm really not talking about it because I don't know about it because it takes a year for that shit to get out, you know, and I didn't even really know about it until Hogan sued Gawker and I'm in a deposition and they start asking me all these questions and I'm like, what? Huh? And so Spice Boy then takes this tape. He's cleared, no big deal, and it's no value. There is no value to this tape. You can't extort Hogan for it.
Right.
Because you almost went to prison for that deal. You can't get anybody to buy it. So the only value it is to get me fired over it and for Mike Calta to get mornings on the Bone. And so Spice Boy gives it to Mike Calta. Mike Calta gives it to his agent, Tony Burton, and Tony Burton hand delivers it to Gawker. Gawker publishes it. I get fired, and the Bone promotes Calta, and he's still there to that day. Wow. He's still the #1 morning man in Tampa, which I used to be. And he used my sex tape to fucking do it. And I'm going to tell that story. It's a story that nobody in this room... Did you know that?
I had no fucking clue. I knew he was somehow involved, but I didn't know the details.
Yeah. And so Hogan then sued Gawker, was awarded $141 million, collected $35 million because they filed bankruptcy and he was the largest creditor. So got $35 million there. I was heard after Peter Thiel and all the. I heard that Hogan put about 10, and this is just strictly my opinion. I heard Hogan put about $10 million in his pocket for that after that was all shook down. Then he sued. It was brilliant. He sued Cox separately for the distribution, you know, of how it got out. And maybe my next appearance, if you go to the Pinellas County court doc and you look up Hogan versus Cox and you read the complaint, it shows, you know, it lays it right on. That's basically what my documentary is going to be is following the complaint. Wow. And Cox, I heard, and this is just strictly hearsay, that Cox wrote Hogan a $50 million plus check. Wow. Because Hogan had evidence of this tape. Now, here's the bad thing about it is Spice Boy quit my show in February of 2011, stole the tape, shopped it to the dirty, and then so this tape appeared after he quit my show. And he quit my show on great terms. We were like, he was like, I'm going to go. He quit my show.
I remember when he quit.
Yeah, and he went to go do nights on the Bone, and it was a big thing. It was like, hey, you're leaving my show, but you're going to do your own show. My agent even cut his deal for him for free just because that was my guy.
Right,
that was my guy.
Right.
I didn't know that what he had took on his exit plan. So he distributed it all, and Cox did fire him. But, you know, for years, I was the bad guy. And in the evidence that Hogan had in Hogan versus Cox, I invite anybody to go to the Pinellas County Court record system and just type in Hogan versus Cox and read the complaint. It will blow your fucking mind that Hogan had the fact that Cox actually had this tape on their servers, and the management would look at it. Cox management would look at this, watch this Hogan fucking my wife tape while I worked there. The ongoing joke behind my back while I was working there was, hey, have you seen the fucking tape? Oh, my God. So then the guy that they fired, so Calta's agent, Tony Burton, spins it to Cox and says, you can't have this guy as your morning guy. He's a pornographer. He let, his wife fuck Hogan. He tried to do his best friend dirty. I mean, you can't have that. Clients are going to be falling off. Nobody wants to be associated with that guy. So they fired me, and they promoted the guy. At the end of the day, they had to write a $50 million, what I was told, a $50 million, and that motherfucker is still there to this day. And I am still the motherfucker in the whole entire world. Everybody thinks I did it.
That is so fucking bizarre.
I mean, it's so bizarre. Let me give you an example that you might be able to wrap your fucking head around, and take the Bubba factor out of it. You know Mark Wilson on Channel 13?
No.
Okay. Mark Wilson, Channel 13, is the head lead anchor at the 6 o'clock. It was him and Kelly Ring.
Like local news?
Yeah, local news.
Okay.
And I'm just using local because I thought maybe you would know a little bit about it. But
I do watch Tucker every now and again.
All right,
we'll go into that later.
Let me use Tucker, who's a friend of mine.
I know.
Very good friend of mine.
I know.
Call him up right now. Let's say Sean Hannity. You're familiar with that?
Yep.
Okay. Sean Hannity, Tucker and his wife are in an open relationship. And so let's think of somebody super famous that Tucker might know. Donald Trump. Okay, let's just use that. Different players, but here's the scenario. So Tucker lets Trump fuck his wife.
Right.
There's video of it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. Hannity fucking wants Tucker's job. So Hannity steals the tape. He starts shopping it around, and everybody's like, fuck, we can't. Do you got consent forms for, Tucker's wife and Trump? No. Sorry, we can't do anything about it. Okay. The FBI does a sting and fucking goes and Tucker's liaison tries. Sean Hannity's liaison tries to shake Tucker down for $1 million. The FBI gets involved. People get arrested. But the FBI is like, listen, you got Donald Trump here. You got fucking Tucker. It's a fucking right-wing fucking shitstorm here. We're not going to prosecute this, okay?
Right.
All right. Hannity's like, fuck, it didn't work there. So Hannity goes to Fox, and Hannity then, Hannity goes to CNN and says, hey, I got a tape for you. You guys might want to fucking play it. CNN plays the shit out of it, right? Boom. Fox fires Tucker and gives Hannity the job, and then 5 years later realizes that Hannity is the one that distributed it, but lets Hannity keep his job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
same thing.
It's the same thing.
Almost the
much
same
bigger
thing.
players,
Right.
A little more sexier.
Not at the time. At the time, it was probably about equivalent. I mean, you were much bigger than Tucker back then, weren't you?
Yeah. One of the reasons why Tucker was on my show every Tuesday for 5 years is because we were globally bigger than him. He was using...
I had no clue who Tucker was when he was on your show.
Yeah.
I just knew that he was this great fucking guest who would come on.
Oh, he was the best. He'd be like, and he got in a lot of trouble for his appearances because he was so cynical and so funny. He'd be like, let me tell you about Iranian women. If they're not out, fucking camels, they have hair underneath their arms. And then, and now he's gotten in trouble over all of his appearances on my show.
Right.
But like, same scenario, but just different players. That would never, ever in a million years last. People would not fucking tolerate that.
No.
Fox would not go for that. It blows my mind that, listen, I am a bad guy. I've done a lot of fucked up shit. I'm the second highest fined radio personality in the history of radio.
That's a good fucking thing.
You're
second to Howard, right?
Right, second to Howard. I have, been. Let me ask you this, Danny. And you've had a lot of criminals and people that have been in trouble on your show. How many of your guests have been on trial 4 times, jury trial 4 times, and are 4-0?
You're probably the only one.
I'm
You're 100% the only one.